great that local vendors have a place to come out and bring their food items or fresh produce, and the community has the opportunity to come and purchase, from local vendors.
There's a nice variety of things. I saw some like fresh garden vegetables and fruit and things. There's a lady out here that has bees and fresh honey and peanut butter and all type of good things. There's some good food and it's really nice. There's a nice variety of things.
The market is open at the West Bank Bridge Park from noon to 5 p.m. on Wednesdays, and again from 8 a.m. to noon on Saturdays at the St. Charles Parish Library branch in Destrehan. Both sites provide great amenities and ample public parking.
Today we're standing at 301 Bethune Street. That is Bethune Park here in Norco. We're celebrating the groundbreaking of our Phase 1 improvements to Bethune Park. This is the first improvements in this site in 25 years since it was first created as a park. We're excited to see some new amenities and an improved park for the residents of Norco.
We'll be reducing the size of our large field to about 200 feet. And then our small field in the back is going to be about 200, mostly softball field, dirt infield, all new fencing, along with two new backstops for 7, 8, and T-ball on the multi-use field.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Charles Parish Council meeting on Monday, May 19th. At 6 p.m. in the council chambers in the parish courthouse. Please silence all electronic devices and remove all hats. This meeting is called to an order with a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance by Reverend Marilyn Diggs with Mount Zion Community Church in Booty.
Let's bow our heads. Father, we just thank you for this day that you have given unto us. We pray, O Lord God, for our council members and our parish president, that you would give them the guidance and the wisdom and the unity in decision making tonight. We pray, O God, that the decision would be righteous in your sight and it would benefit you for your glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Diggs. Approval of the minutes. A motion and a second are needed to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of May 5th, 2025. Have a motion by Councilwoman Skiba, second by Councilman Commerdale. Please cast your votes. That passes unanimously with Councilman Fisher absent this evening. Special business, proclamations, canvass returns, etc. File number 2025-0140 in memoriam, William Jewell Sermon, Jr. Councilwoman DeBrouillet.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is a privilege and an honor for me to give this proclamation to Mr. William Sermon, Jr. After his passing on March 11th. He was a very good friend of the family, and as a matter of fact, I do consider his whole family like family. So thank you all for being here tonight to recognize Mr. Sermon, Mr. Bill, as we all call him. The Parish of St. Charles in memoriam, whereas March 11th, 2025, Almighty God, in his infinite wisdom, saw fit to call from amongst us one of his most worthy servants, William Jewell Sermon, Jr. And whereas William Sermon was born in Abbeville, Louisiana, and was a resident of St. Charles Parish since 1956, he was dedicated to his family, his loving wife, Edie Hannessy Sermon, and his 3 children, William III, Quinn, and Casey. He is the son of William Sr. and Dorothy Sermon. And whereas William Sermon served as councilman, District 7 of St. Charles Parish for 4 years, served in the St. Charles Parish school system for 15 years, was a member of Holy Family Catholic Church in Luling, a member of the Knights of Columbus Council 9033, and served as a member of the Lafourche Basin Levy District. And whereas William Sermon worked in the petrochemical industry and has served on the board of directors of the St. Charles Business Association, Louisiana Architectural Board, Louisiana Professional Improvement Board for Teachers, and the Governor's Task Force on Maritime Industry. And whereas William Sermon will be deeply missed not only by his family, friends, and past co-workers, but also by the many residents of St. Charles Parish he assisted throughout his years of service. And whereas on behalf of all citizens of St. Charles Parish, the Parish Council, and the Parish President wish to posthumously honor William Sermon as an outstanding and dedicated public servant of the Parish of St. Charles. Now therefore be it resolved, we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, duly assembled on this 19th day of May 2025, do hereby express our sincere sympathy to the family of William Jewell Sermon Jr., February 1st, 1943 through March 11th, 2025. Be it further resolved that a page in the official minute book of the St. Charles Parish Council be set aside to record this memoriam, and when this meeting is adjourned, it shall be done in memory of William Jewell Sermon Jr. May he rest in peace. And I know there's quite a bit of family here, and I would invite y'all to come up for the photo, please.
Y'all can spread out. Okay. Somebody help her.
I know my dad, although he was a very humble man, would be humbled by this. Really appreciate Michelle and you guys recognizing he worked hard for the citizens of St. Charles Parish. He helped a lot of people. He was incredibly generous. I don't know if you read his obituary and there were countless people who would tell me all the time, man, your dad got me a job. Your dad got this for me. Your dad helped me with this. Your dad did this. And so he was always about trying to help people. And I think that hopefully you will see that with his legacy being carried on with me and my brothers and kids and nieces and nephews. But I know that he would be proud to be recognized. He would be humble about it, but he would be proud. He loved St. Charles Parish. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate it.
Our sincere condolences to all of the Sermon family. File number 2025-0141, Proclamation, Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month. Parish President Jewell.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Proclamation, whereas Alzheimer's disease is a type of brain disease that causes damage to nerve cells in the brain. It is the most common cause of dementia a general term for memory loss and other cognitive abilities serious enough to interfere with daily life. And whereas Alzheimer's is a progressive disease where dementia symptoms gradually worsen over a number of years, in its early stages, memory loss is mild, but in the late stage, individuals lose the ability to carry on a conversation and to respond to their environment. And whereas Alzheimer's is currently ranked as the 7th leading cause of death in the United States. Approximately more than 7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, and by the year 2050, this number could rise to as high as 13 million. And whereas with early detection and diagnosis, individuals and their families can gain access to treatment medications which may help preserve daily functioning for some time. They can enroll in critical research trials, fully participate in planning for the future, and receive help and support from the Alzheimer's Association. And whereas there is a need to raise awareness about Alzheimer's disease and to honor all of the caregivers who support and care for our loved ones suffering with it. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council, and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2025 as Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month in St. Charles Parish, and encourage all citizens to take part in the Longest Day campaign, Saturday, June 21st, 2025, by participating through a fundraiser activity of their choice by either participating at home, online, or in person to show support for those who have been affected by Alzheimer's disease. I think today we have Tamika Dixon will be here to accept.
Thank you. Thank you to the council, to the St. Charles Parish Council, as well as this wonderful community. On behalf of the Alzheimer's Association, we thank you not only for this proclamation and also for recognizing June as Alzheimer's as Brain Awareness Month, but also want to call out that your support that you bring to the Alzheimer's Association in this community and around the state helps to raise critical awareness for more than 98,000 individuals that are living with Alzheimer's and other dementia in the state of Louisiana, and also to over 200,000 caregivers who support them. Just to let you know also, with your support, your awareness, and you rallying around the association does right now in the legislation in Louisiana, we have where the Appropriations Committee has allotted $412,000 appropriated for our request of $824,000 for the Dementia Care Specialist Program. And so that money is put aside to help caregivers that we know are working tirelessly to care for their loved ones that oftentimes have to maybe leave their jobs or do things to make sure that their loved ones are comfortable. And so we thank you for your support, your awareness. Encourage you to join us at the Walked In Alzheimer's event that'll be in New Orleans, October 18th. November 2nd in the Bayou area, so you can catch either one, or if you want to go to North Shore, September 26th. But we thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. Reports. Finance and Administrative Activities. File number 2025-0142, Department of Planning and Zoning / Coastal Zone Management. Mr. Albert's here to present.
Thank you. Good evening, Parish Council and Parish President. Tonight I am presenting the yearly report for the Department of Planning and Zoning. My goal is to keep this informative and brief. Our department split into 4 workflows, making us essentially 4 small departments all rolled into one. Land Use Planning handles Commission and Board of Adjustment related items. Coastal Zone and Floodplain Management handle our wetland and flood related matters. Code enforcement is tasked with ensuring that many parish laws, including the nuisance regulations, are followed. Lastly, permitting ensures our compliance with the Louisiana State Uniform Building Code. In 2024, we had several large accomplishments, including the addition of 2 certified floodplain managers, bringing our total number to 3 in the department, 4 overall in the parish. Our teams worked to help draft and adopt the Highway 90 Corridor Overlay Zone, and we worked on the coastal strategy document. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, we closed out the remaining Hurricane Ida temporary housing issues, both permitting and code related. This is the graphic of our organizational structure. Our workflows are split between two main branches: zoning administration and planning administration. Zoning handles permitting and code enforcement. Planning handles coastal and planning commission. Of note here is with Earl's retirement, Marty Stein has been promoted to the planning administrator, and we have a new hire in the coastal zone area. For the first time in many years, we are fully staffed as a department. Here you see the construction permitting numbers for 2024, and kind of the big takeaway and some of the things I'm going to be saying tonight is we've turned the page. Statistics are returning to normal. The aftermath of Hurricane Ida is no longer reflected in these numbers. We did see an increase in new commercial permitting due to large industrial projects across the parish, and for the past 8 years, I am still serving as chair for the Building Code Construction Council. That helps us have kind of an outsized effect on South Central Development's planning board. And major subdivision activity. These are subdivisions greater than 6, usually with infrastructure included. Last year we had dedication of River Place Phase 2 in Hahnville. And of note, we have 5 separate projects under construction review right now. If these start moving through, we should start seeing a good deal more dedications in 2025. These are also things that are under review at Public Works, and just as kudos to them, I can relate through personal experience that the construction review internally is robust. We get routine correspondence from our partner departments, and they are holding developments to account in terms of drainage, infrastructure, and traffic. Land use applications are actually up a little bit from previous years. We've seen more rezoning and subdivision requests, both minor and major. Of particular note is a dramatic drop-off of home occupations. Personally, I'm ascribing this to the fact that people are going back to work, back into the office, with COVID mostly in the rear view. I think some of that is changing for the residents. Code enforcement. Here you can see the volume of work done by our code enforcement staff. A few items of interest here. Complaints are down overall. So either people are feeling more generous or more likely the items from Hurricane Ida have been addressed. You can choose which one you think that is. Another thing to note up here is the number of grass cases resolved. Why does this matter? Well, with complaints being down, this statistic shows that my inspectors are out driving in the communities and identifying these things preemptively. Coastal zone. This is the last part of the presentation. Since 2017, we've managed our own coastal program. This lets us process smaller site-specific permits and help keep decisions local. With Earl's retirement, we've staffed up, hiring Clay Leday as our new CZMA. He's a local with experience in the private sector of environmental management and permitting. 2 projects of note, the first being our yearly Christmas tree recycling program. It's helping to still build shoreline. Numbers are down on that, but we are still engaging in it. The second major project being a win for the parish, and the La Branch Wetlands Creation Project has resulted in approximately 1,500 new acres of marsh and is continuing on now. In conclusion, the Planning and Zoning Department serves a wide array of functions. Most of these result in difficult decisions and answers. That being said, the staff does an incredible job responding to a variety of people from the public, the administration, and the council here. I appreciate the work my team does and the support that we get from all of the elected officials. Thank you. If there's any.
Thank you, Mr. Albert. Appreciate it. I don't see any questions tonight. Okay, file number 2025-0143, Parish President Remarks Report. Parish President Jewell.
I can. Can I get things quicker?
Goodness.
Thank you. Our PIO, most of our PIO staff is out at a conference, so I will take over this, which I should be able to do. First is, look at that, it works. First is last week I attended the Lafourche Basin Levy District meeting with Mr. Sam Sholey to speak against LBLD's attempts to roll their millage forward to its maximum level. This is their notice, their public notification on this issue. This would have raised taxes in St. Charles Parish by, I think, 0.15 mils. And while the $215,000 total isn't a very large sum of money, the principle that we've been working very hard to lower taxes and keep taxes low during a time where inflation and uncertainty and economic uncertainty have caused prices to rise. I'm happy to report that not only, and I should back up, this is not just for St. Charles Parish. This is for all parishes within the jurisdiction of Lafourche Basin Levy District. So St. Charles Parish plus 5 other parishes would have seen taxes increased under this, if under the adoption of this ordinance or agenda item. Luckily, we gave a very good speech about why we thought it would be bad for them to do that, and they unanimously denied it. And so we are thankful for the unanimous disapproval of this agenda item by our St. Charles Parish members and all of the members on the Lafourche Basin Levy District. Okay, asphalt maintenance is beginning. Notice to proceed on the 2025 asphalt maintenance project was issued today. This will improve more than 20 roads across the parish that have been graded as poor or very poor. Remember, we use a third party now to rate all of our streets objectively, and our goal is to remove every street that has been graded poor or very poor. After this year, we will have pretty much all of the poor and very poor off the list. So we are excited about that methodology that we've been using, because it makes sure, regardless of where someone lives or where their street is located in the parish, that it is getting done based off of its grade. And I want to thank Miles and his team for the work that they put into that. Important to note that this project will start, as it traditionally has, with the contractor coming in and doing patching first. So they're going to find areas where it appears that the base of the road has failed. They're going to dig that out and they're going to patch it. That patch is going to look ugly. It's going to look rough because they're going to come back and they're going to mill over that patch when they mill and overlay the entire street. So do not fret. If you see them put a patch on your street, they are coming back to do the whole thing. And we're going to have some information going out on that as well soon. All right. The SCP Waterworks text notification system is live. If you have a cell phone number on file with us or linked to your water billing account, you should have gotten a text message to opt into notifications from us this past Friday. This is to send you all customized alerts about your account. So if certain billing areas or billing cycles are having low water pressure because of an issue or that we might be working out there, we are able to send you a text message notification to your phone to let you know that there's an issue going on, that we're working on it, and when the issue is resolved. You can also get important information about your billing, when your bill's ready, messages about your account, and we hope to just be better connected to our residents and customers through the Waterworks app. Okay, basement renovations. If you didn't know, the courthouse does have a basement, and those renovations are almost complete. The government buildings team has been working the last few months to give our courthouse basement, which houses risk management, a major refresh, new lighting, paint, flooring. The team has also been using that time to take out any obsolete infrastructure down there, pipes, obsolete network infrastructure related to our internet and other security systems. And we appreciate government buildings working on that to get that done. Right now, the risk management team has been working out of the old Bonds and Fine trailer on the side of the courthouse, but they're going to be back soon. They've already started to move in. Okay, we have a procurement auction coming up. It's going to be online through May 28th. We have multiple trucks, a generator, some equipment, as well as a dump truck in this auction. We're asking our residents or whoever's watching at home, if they want to place a bid on one of these items, that they go to publicsurplus.com/SMS/stcharlesgov, LA/browse/home. It's on the screen. I won't read it again. Spray Park is now open for the summer. Throughout May, the Spray Park will be open on weekends only, Saturday to Sunday from 1 to 6 p.m. After Memorial Day, Spray Parks will open for our traditional summer operating hours, Tuesday through Sunday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., and go back to weekends at the end of August. Fall sports registration is ongoing. Register for fall baseball, fall tennis, tackle football, volleyball, and cheerleading. That's going to run from June 2nd to June 25th on the scpparksandrec.com website. Please go there to sign up. The Fish Dat Rodeo, summer camps. If you're still looking for summer camp activities for the kids, we do have spots available in many of our parks and recreation summer camp programs. Registration closes May 31st, and it is all done online at scpparksandrec.com. A little bit more with recreation. We concluded our 5th annual Fish Dat Rodeo, which was held on Saturday, May 10th. At the Spillway, we had nearly 150 registered participants come out to fish and compete to earn prizes. I want to thank all the Parks and Recreation team who worked to make this event possible, and for all of our council members and elected officials who showed up to support this event as well. Last but not least, Senior Games. The Edward A. Dufresne Community Center hosted 175 participants for the Senior Games from 6 parishes in Southeast Louisiana. Events like discus, shot put, and beanbag baseball. The SCP seniors took home more medals than we can count, and 2 of our seniors were number 1 and number 2 in medal count overall, and our 89-year-old Edie Corso won 14 medals, and 58-year-old Patty Cortez won 12. So we are extremely excited about how well our seniors performed in the senior games. They do practice all year long for these senior games. We are excited to be able to host it at the community center. We had a lot of great praise over the quality of that facility. So we are excited to host that. And with that, I will open my report up to any questions.
Okay, thank you, Parish President Jewell. Councilwoman Wilson.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just have one question in reference to the asphalt maintenance program that's going to be starting with the poor streets. So I know when the residents starts to see that streets are being worked on, and Paul Frederick is not going to be in this round. Can we just give an update on Paul Frederick?
So if I'm not mistaken, Miles, I think from Hackberry to Canal is on Paul Frederick is in this.
That is correct.
Yes.
That section is the section that we're doing the drainage in will be done as soon as we get through with the drainage improvements.
It's going to be a part of that project, but Hackberry to Canal will be redone in this contract. And just so everybody's aware, we are going to put more information out highlighting all the streets that are going to be done. We were able to add more streets to that based off of the contract that came in. And I'll let Miles speak to that a little bit. But residents we're going to put that information out. But residents also will get a door hanger from Barrier Construction before that work starts. Miles, if you want to.
I think you said it perfectly well. We do every year when we do this, we have a budget. Barrier has always given us a good price on the asphalt, which allows us to go back and reassess and add streets as we can. And we have done the same thing this year. We will be coming back as the first change order when we get the project going. Will be those added streets that we want to do. So I think we're going to do a lot of streets this year. It should make a lot of people happy. There's some of the big ones that people have been asking for that do have a lot of damage, I would say, that have needed to be done. And I'm thankful that President Jewell has allowed us to use the rating system to put our street project together. So I think we'll get that one done. And to answer the question about Paul Frederick, the reason we've held off on that section from Brooklyn to Hackberry is because we're going to go through and actually put culverts across the road to improve the drainage. And I don't want to do the road and then tear it back up. So once we have those drainage improvements, the major drainage improvements done, we will be doing that street and putting it back in the level of service that the people in that area deserve.
All right. Thank you, Parish President Jewell, Mr. Bingham. I'd also like to thank you publicly. I know we talked about Lafourche Basin Levee District trying to roll forward their millage. Most people that live on the West Bank of St. Charles don't realize that St. Charles Parish residents pay the lion's share of the millage taxes that go to Lafourche Basin Levee District, simply because the other parishes that are part of the district don't have a lot of residents that populate their West Banks. So it's very important that our parish leadership keep an eye on those type activities. And, you know, we have some really great board members now on that board. And so good job on that one.
We appreciate that. We pay about 70% of the total collections to Lafourche Basin Levee District out of the 5 or so parishes that are involved in it.
Yes, it's eye-opening. All right, moving on. Ordinances, resolutions introduced for publication, public hearing. Monday, June 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Council chambers in the courthouse in Hawnville. File number 2025-0147. File number 2025-0148. File number 2025-0149. File number 2025-0151. File number 2025-0152. File number 2025-0153. File number 2025-0154. Ordinances scheduled for public hearing introduced at the previous meeting. File number 2025-0133, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of change order number 2, final, for the St. Charles Parish West Bank Library Hurricane Ida repairs, project number LR 211105, to decrease the contract amount by $2,500. Mr. Messerly.
Yes, I know this is coming up late, but we had some trouble getting the product and the contractor getting his stuff together. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Messerly. File number 2025-0133 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Okay, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2025-0133. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0134, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with Wagoner Engineering, Inc., to perform engineering services for the West Bank Lift Station Rehab, project number S250401, in the amount not to exceed $236,530. Mr. DeGeneres.
Yes, ma'am. This is to replace 2 aging lift stations on the West Bank. One is in front of Lakewood School on Heather, and the other one is on Laurie Court, the Lagitude lift station. We're actually going to relocate that one. It's currently in a backyard. We're going to move it to the cul-de-sac, but these are both old dry pit stations that we have a hard time finding parts and stuff for now. They're 40 plus years old, so we're looking to replace them.
Okay, thank you. File number 2025-0134 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Mr. DeGeneres, did you say the one at Laurie Court you're going to remove from the backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just checking. Not the other one, though.
No, the other one is in front of Lakewood School. They're planning it's right on the edge of the road. We're going to move it directly behind it.
Okay. All right. You have anything to add?
say we're moving it behind the existing lift station and underground. And so everything from the existing lift station will go away. It'll be an overall better
That's great.
look.
More aesthetically pleasing too.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. Seeing no other discussion, please cast your votes for file number 2025-0134. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0137, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a contract with Parish Construction Company, LLC for the LA 18 cast iron water main replacement, Phase 3, project number WKS 113, in the amount of $779,876.10. Mr. Gordon.
Good evening, members of the council, parish president, Jewel. So the project entails replacing the existing 8-inch cast iron water line with a new 8-inch PVC along LA 18, Hanville and Luling area. The project limits are from Fashion Plantation Boulevard to Annie Lane, which is approximately about 4,700 feet. And construction is estimated to take 150 days. We got a good bid with a good contractor. I wanted to mention that since this will be along River Road, there'll be some traffic issues. So we will have staff members out there the whole time, probably plus some resident inspection. We will give notices to all the affected homeowners and property owners. We've already kind of talked with them in the course of the design project. And I'm here to also, I just wanted to tell you phase 4. The next phase will go from around Annie Lane all the way to Paul Mallard. That's a long run. We'll probably do that design next year. It may not be constructed in one phase. It may take a couple of phases just because of the bridge. But we are going to start that design next year. And I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. File number 2025-0137 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2025-0137. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0138, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement with McKimmon Creed Inc. to perform engineering services for the Oak Street Pump Station improvements, project number P241104, in the lump sum amount of $89,500. Mr. Bingham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is part of our East Bank Master Drainage Plan. We are trying to do a conceptual design on this project at this time so that we can work towards looking for grant money so we can actually get these pump stations constructed. We have a great number of projects in the area, in this area, that are needing to go to, have new pump stations put in. So if we can get initial designs done on them, it gives us a better chance of getting the funding for them. So we would appreciate your support.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bingham. File number 2025-0138 is open for public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Councilwoman O'Daniels.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have multiple projects that need to be done in St. Rose, and we're excited to see that this Oak Street pump station improvement, conceptual design is being moved forward. To clarify, it's being presented so that eventually it might be able to be applied for a grant of some sort.
That's correct.
This area. All right. So as far as the residents are concerned, it's not going to be anything other than a study, and then you'll take that and try to figure out a way to shop it for a grant.
When we say conceptual design, we actually look at different configurations of the pump station, ways that we can make it more economical to build so that we can come up with a really good concept. We can then take that and go to different grant agencies and are able to get them to buy in and helping us fund that project.
Okay.
It's that way the parish has a way of communicating our needs as well.
So in the process of this, is it possible you might be able to discover some way to do things perhaps in-house, or figure out ways to determine whether or not land needs to be expropriated or other things?
Yes, we would actually
Go ahead.
Yes, we would actually look at all of those angles. We would also look at. We've been working with the watershed initiative in on some other pump stations in St. Rose, and they've actually talked to us about upstream and downstream modifications that could help improve our stations as well. So those again would also be looked at in these areas as well.
Okay, so this is part of trying to also work on those other projects. What do you call those, downstream or upstream?
Yes, downstream and upstream improvements so that the water flows rather than being, we can pump the water out if it doesn't have a place to go.
It doesn't have a place to go. Correct.
We need to fix that as well.
All right, thank you.
Parish President Jewell.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I just want to mention that this is a similar process that we've taken with other pump stations. Muntz Engineers Canal is working on, instead of just going ahead and designing something, looking at how we would need to configure it to get the most efficiency out of not only the pump itself, but the most efficiency of how we build it to be the most economical. And so at the end of a conceptual design, you have somewhere between a 20 to 30% drawing. And then you take that drawing onto, once you've agreed to that conceptual design, you take that drawing onto the 60, 90, 95%, and then out to bid. It's during that time that we will be looking for additional funding for that. I know that we do have a grant in St. Rose for some additional projects. This past budget, we put $2 million towards making up the difference for some of those projects. We're going to continue to put money in those pots as we get this project to a 95% project. Our hope, though, along the way is that we could also get a grant for it, because that usually helps us stretch that taxpayer dollar even further. And we've seen that success with Muntz and many of the other pump station projects that we've done in the parish.
Thank you, Parish President Jewell. I would also add that a lot of the times with grant funding, the conceptual design portion is needed to be complete so that the grant application has a scope that's available and also a conceptual budget to submit. So thank you, Councilwoman O'Daniels, as well. Any other council discussion? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I thought I may not have. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No, I appreciate the explanation, President Jewell. I think it's important to explain a little bit, and I'm glad that y'all did, as to the levels of design that this particular contract is supposed to cover, and that we're just working towards a goal at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman O'Daniels. Please cast your votes for file number 2025-0138. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0139, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of amendment number 1 to ordinance number 23-7-6, which approved the professional services agreement with Shred Kirkendall and Associates, Inc., for the engineering services for the Engineers and Good Hope Canals Pipeline Location Investigation, project number P230402, in the lump sum amount of $110,305. Mr. Bingham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. When President Jewell came into office, we noticed that these canals going out to the Trepanier pump station needed to be improved. The first thing we did is we got a contractor to go out and clear a lot of vegetation and so forth out of those canals, which has improved flow to Trepanier. We also noted that there was a lot of pipelines that cross those canals, and this is a third phase of a project where we're locating all of those pipelines, getting depths to them, so that we can see if there's any way that we can improve the profile of the canals out to Trepanier and therefore get more water out to that station. We've done, in a previous administration, they did a part of that. They did not get all the information that we needed. In the phase that we did, and under the first phase of this contract, we went the rest of the way and got a lot more detail. This is going back and picking up the same detail on the first phase that was done in the previous administration and gathering a little bit more information right out at Trepanier. There's opportunity that we might be able to improve the size of the sump out there, but we need to know what is in that area that we might have to avoid. So we would appreciate your support in getting this information to help improve drainage in that area.
Thank you, Mr. Bingham. File number 2025-0139 is now open for public hearing. If there is anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Councilman Pillier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Bingham,
Yes, sir.
I was confused by the phase one. It sounds like phase one took place sometime before this administration.
Phase one was in the previous administration.
Okay.
They went out and they did the first section which was from US 61 to, there's a plant out there that they stopped right there. It only got some basic information of where the pipelines were. It did not give us what we need, which is the canal bottom and the depth of the pipeline underneath that canal bottom. So we didn't have that detailed information in the format we wanted it. This will go back and correct that. They will get us all of that information as we have it in the section that we did, which was from where they stopped out to Trepanier pump station.
So the reason I'd asked that, it says phase one, consultant shall create AutoCAD deliverables to include plan profile sheets along with cross sections of each pipeline. So that's in essence to bring it into a standard that we need to do our business now. That's equal to phase two and phase three?
Yes, sir.
Equivalent to?
Yes. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Pillier. Any other council discussion? Okay, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2025-0139. And that passes unanimously.
Thank you all.
Persons to address the council. File number 2025-0144. Mr. Kent Chambliss, U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission 2024 Assessment of Waterford, Unit 3. You have 5 minutes to speak, Mr. Chambliss.
I'll try not to take 5. Thank you, everyone. So the purpose of this is to go over the agency's assessment of Entergy's operation of Waterford 3 generating station just down the road. And that is determined based on the performance of the calendar year 2024, what kind of oversight from the agency they should expect for 2025. And so we do this in 2 ways. We have sort of 2 buckets we use as inputs. One is direct inspection effort, which is part of what myself and Kevin Cook-Smith here, we do on site where the resident inspectors were on site, our offices every day physically there. And we do our baseline inspection in conjunction with traveling inspectors, mostly from Arlington, Texas. And they look at specialty things like engineering, security, health physics, emergency planning, and the licensing of operators to run the plant. And based on our inspection, we put out inspection reports detailing our results. And if you're curious to read our inspection reports, they're on nrc.gov. Just go to websites, go to the bottom. It has a link that says inspection reports, and you can find all of them going back to the year 2000. And the results of these reports, you can find any non-compliance that the Waterford 3 unit may have had. And non-compliance means non-compliance with the operating license that Entergy has been granted by our agency to operate a nuclear plant. And these non-compliances, we call them findings, are given a significance, and we give them a color to make it a little easier to understand, from green to white, yellow to red. Greening meaning very low safety significance, moving up to higher significance red. And so for calendar year 2024, Waterford 3 was issued 15 findings, all of which were green, meaning all of their non-compliances were of very low safety significance. And in conjunction to the finding input, we have an input called performance indicators. And these are objective metrics that are used to sort of monitor the plant based on either a formula or a predetermined metric. And for example, like how unavailable or a certain piece of equipment that is important to safety is unavailable, or say like an unplanned down powers or unplanned power changes over the course of the year. And so we use the same sort of color metric to to signify the performance indicators. Again, they're all on NRC.gov. If you want to find a snapshot of any plant in the country of what these performance indicators look like, it's on our website. And so for the calendar year, they had all of theirs performance indicators were all green with one exception. They had an unplanned down powers per a certain amount of time for the year. Did go white, meaning it was just outside of our expected performance level for a nuclear plant. And that was due to having to take the unit offline for a bit. And that was exacerbated by the amount of time the unit spent offline. And so as a result of this white performance indicator, we did do a supplemental inspection late last year. And we determined that the site did adequately address the issues that led to that performance indicator going outside of the expected performance level. And that performance indicator, as a result, moved to green. So as a result of both our inspection findings and our objective metrics, we've concluded as an agency that Entergy did operate Waterford 3 at a manner that preserved public health and safety. And all of their safety objectives were met for calendar year 2024. And as a result, for 2025, we are proposing that they only receive the baseline inspection effort that all plants that are around the country will receive unless their performance degrades. Are there any questions for me or Kevin? I appreciate the time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chambliss. Resolutions. File number 2025-0146, a resolution requesting the Louisiana Attorney General render an opinion as to whether a member of the St. Charles Parish Housing Authority may serve as a member of the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission simultaneously. Councilman Pillier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This was something that was brought to my attention. I would have been totally unknowing, but we'd reach out to the parish attorney, Mr. Oob. He had some opinions, but thought that it was a wiser thing to do to go to the Attorney General. And I can't explain why it is that we have to have a resolution to do so. Perhaps, Mr. Oob, you can explain why that is.
Yes, thank you, Councilman. Louisiana law requires that the council as a governing body make the request, not individual council members. So that's why the resolution is put forth for the council to vote on.
So it's in essence, it's a technicality in order to get the opinion that we need. So I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Pillier. File number 2025-0146 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussion? Okay, seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2025-0146. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0150, a resolution to adopt the 2025 update to the St. Charles Parish 2020 Floodplain and Stormwater Management Program for public information. Ms. Stein.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're asking for the council's support on this resolution to adopt an update to the 2020 Floodplain and Stormwater Management Program for public information. It was originally adopted February 17th, 2020. They have a 5-year lifespan. This one's slightly overdue. The document earns us credit in the community rating system. That's an NFIP program that rewards communities for activities that they do that are above and beyond. Our PPI is above and beyond. But it's a little dated and was lacking a schedule. So we updated the information in a 5-page addendum and produced an implementation schedule that you can actually read. Apologies for the original. And that's 32 outreach projects that we'll be doing over the course of a year, every year, to earn credit in the community rating system. So we ask for your support.
Thank you, Ms. Stein. File number 2025-0150 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussion? Councilman Pillier.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Stein, I read through the whole thing. I read through the old one, I read through the new one, so thank you for putting this out there. I do have a few small questions.
Yes.
What is a rating of 8?
A rating of 8 was a 10% discount on our flood insurance premiums parish-wide.
And are we having an improvement in that as a result of us updating this?
Well, we're currently at 7. So in 2020, the PPI was largely responsible for dropping us from an 8 down to a 7.
Okay. And
So
we're currently at a 7?
Correct.
Okay.
We're trying to maintain those points and hopefully improve.
Good.
And in addition, we're trying to work the calendar a little bit. We're currently in our 5-year review. We asked our CRS reviewers to move that schedule up to February, it started in March. That's generally occurring previously in July. So we're maximizing the calendar to try to get this work done now and request a re-rate early in 2026.
Also, I noticed that we went from a 16-member steering and advisory committee down to, 4? Something like that?
It's actually 5.
5. Who are those people, including yourself, obviously?
Actually, I'm not on the committee. Danielle Honor is on the committee.
It says the floodplain manager. You're not.
Danielle Honor is a floodplain manager. She serves on the committee.
Okay, he's
and was
the new
on
guy.
Committee prior.
Is he the new person that was shown as in?
She's
No?
a woman.
Sorry, my ears
But
are
no,
shut.
Clay Leday is our new coastal zone management administrator.
Okay.
Danielle Honor has been a floodplain manager for the parish for well over 10 years.
Okay. Also, going through the report that was attached, I happened to notice some links, and of course, I love links, so I go and look for them, see what's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I did notice the one that had us steered to the GIS maps. So I looked originally on the GIS map, clicked that on, and it didn't work. And I actually talked to, being connected to Luis Martinez, I talked to him about the GIS stuff. But he had a link that he sent me that it was very, very impressive, where you can go through and get all your original firm, the rating that it's in, AEA 99, whatever it is, and also what your D firm is. So apparently he's pulling in for information from the Louisiana Ag site and other sources. Is that something that we're going to continue to maintain in the parish? Because he's done a great job at this.
Yes, the Map Information Service, Lewis really brought it. The GIS department created something that's unique to us and scores us.
Very impressive.
Should score us loads of points.
Very impressive piece of work.
We'll be getting it public facing soon so that it can get scored.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilman Pillier. Parish President Jewell.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I just want to clarify for the council that CRS is 1 through 10. 10 being basically you're not doing anything above and beyond what the FEMA requirements are. Each level is a 5% discount to the base flood premium. So if you could get down to a 1, you would have a 50% discount to your base flood premium. When I came into office, we were an 8. As Marnie said, there was a couple of things we needed to do. We got them done. We moved to a 7. We were working very hard to move to a 6. And with each time we go down is a 5% decrease. Now, unfortunately, the rate increases that we're seeing through Risk Rating 2.0 are well eating through those 5% discounts, but we're still going to do what we have to do to try to work our way down. Just for purposes of everybody here, the lowest CRS rating in the state of Louisiana is a 5, and that's Jefferson Parish. And the lowest rating that I've seen just in my time of looking, and I haven't done very deep research, but is a 2 in Pinellas County. I'm sure there's some 1s out there. But as far as a coastal county goes, Pinellas County being a 2 is a big one. So they're doing a lot above and beyond. There's certain things that the state did that helped us out, like adopting the 1 foot of freeboard. which of course we just adopt that, so we get points for that. But I think it's going to be close this year with going from a 7 to a 6. But I just want to thank you all for working extremely hard to get us to a 6. Thank you.
All right, any other council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2025-0150. That passes unanimously. Appointments. File number 2025-0117. Resolution appointing a member to the Hospital Service District Number 1, Parish of St. Charles. Council will confirm nomination to the Hospital Service District Number 1, Parish of St. Charles, to fill the vacancy created by the expiration of the term of Ms. Karen Raymond, 6-year term to begin May 22nd, 2025, and expire May 22nd, 2031. The nominee is Ms. Karen Raymond. Please cast your vote to confirm the appointment of Ms. Karen Raymond to the Hospital Service District Number 1, Parish of St. Charles. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0118, a resolution appointing a member to the Hospital Service District Number 1, Parish of St. Charles. Council will confirm nomination to Hospital Service District Number 1, St. Charles, Parish of St. Charles, to fill the vacancy created by the expiration of the term of Ms. Pamela W. Smith, 6-year term to begin May 22nd, 2025, and expire May 22nd, 2031. The nominee, again, is Ms. Pamela W. Smith. Please cast your vote to confirm the appointment of Ms. Pamela W. Smith to the Hospital Service District Number 1, Parish of St. Charles. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0119, a resolution appointing a member to the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission as the District 2 representative. The council will confirm nomination to the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission from the District 2 council member to fill the vacancy created by the expiration of the term of Mr. Randy P.T. Jr., 4-year term to begin May 31st, 2025, and expire May 31st, 2029. The nominee is Mr. Randy P.T. Jr. Please cast your vote to confirm the appointment of Mr. Randy P.T. Jr. to the St. Charles Planning and Zoning Commission as the District 2 representative. And that passes unanimously. File number 2025-0120, a resolution appointing a member to the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission as the District 3 representative. Council Chairman will accept nomination to the St. Charles Parish Planning and Zoning Commission from the District 3 council member to fill the vacancy created by the expiration of the term of Mr. Webb J., 4-year term to begin May 31st, 2025, and expire May 31st, 2029. Deferred from the May 5th, 2025 Parish Council meeting.
Madam Chair,
Hillier.
yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I think we'll have to defer this again in order to get the Attorney General's opinion on this. So let's put it till, I guess, the next meeting.
Okay. Mr. Uber, are we allowed to let the seat continue to be vacant?
The seat would lapse and become vacant.
It may take a while to get that opinion.
I'll check the calendars to see when that meeting would take place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my understanding is that even if the appointment has lapsed, they stay seated until someone is reappointed to that seat. So
Okay.
Webb would stay in his current.
I'll notify him of that.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Can you confirm that?
I can't give a timeline on how long it would take the AG to give
It
us a
sometimes
response.
takes months,
It's
depending
sometimes
on
it
how
can
busy
take
they
months,
are.
Councilman
Right.
Pillay. So I recommend, and based on my research and looking at the AG's opinions, I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
For him to serve in both positions. Of course, there are AG opinions all across the board giving different opinions on this specific topic. There is one, as I said last time, from I believe it's Iberia Parish, which is very similar, that allowed the individual to be in dual roles and dual appointments. So I think it's going to be okay. I recommend there be a vote, and should the AG tell us that it's not proper, we could then seek a renomination at that time.
Okay. Well, then I would nominate Webb J.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Councilman Pillier.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oob and Mr. Albert. We have a nomination by Councilman Pillier of Mr. Webb J. I'm going to need a motion and a second for that nomination. Well,
Do I? Can I?
It's we already have a motion by Councilman Commerdale and second by Ms. Skiba, which is fine. Please cast your votes to close nominations.
Why is this? Mine is stuck.
All right, and that passes unanimously. Meetings, announcements, notices, etc. Meetings, Housing Authority will meet Tuesday, May 27th at 2025 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. The Hospital Service District Number 1 will meet Wednesday, May 28th, 2025 at 2 p.m. in the council chambers. And our next parish council meeting will be Monday, June 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers. Announcements. Parish holiday of Monday, May 26, 2025 for Memorial Day. Special matters to be considered by the council. File number 2025-0145. Official journal appointment. Authorized advertisement for acceptance of proposals. Please cast your vote to authorize the advertisement for acceptance of proposals for the official journal appointment. And that passes unanimously. A motion and a second are needed to adjourn. And we have a motion by Councilwoman O'Daniels, a second by Councilman Commerdale. Please cast your votes to adjourn. And that passes unanimously. We hope everyone enjoys the Memorial Day holiday. We are forever grateful for the ultimate sacrifice of those who died in the United States for the United States of America. May their courage and dedication never be forgotten. We are officially adjourned.